Yo, what's going on? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, October 21st, 2024. And today we've got a Monday mukbang. When I was at the expo for the Chicago Marathon, I spoke to some people over at UCAN and they dropped off a energy gel variety pack for me. I feel like I've had one of the flavors before. I think is orange mango, the original one. I think I've had that one before. But now there's strawberry, banana, pineapple, and an unflavored. So we will try all of these out. I do have a workout that I'd like to do right after this live stream. I'm not going to eat 4 different full gels, but I feel like having a little bit of extra energy in the system couldn't hurt, and we'll see how they taste. Before we do that, let's say hi to everyone else listening on the audio-only version on the podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a good run out there today. The weather in the Midwest is absolutely gorgeous for running, so hopefully you're taking advantage and currently listening to this with the wind blowing through your hair as you're enjoying a nice, easy recovery run. And for everyone else that's watching this later but not live, welcome to the #1 internet radio show for runners. Today, we're also going to do some updating on the shoe weight sheet. So if you're into spreadsheets, you are in the correct place. All right. There was also, first things first, let's say hi to everyone in the chat. And if you guys raced over the weekend, and there were a lot of races, let me know how it went. I especially want to know if you PB'd, though. Not that I'm only wanting to celebrate your PBs, but I want to make sure we ring the bell for everyone that did hit a PB. All right, let's see who we got. Frank says, congratulations to everyone who raced. There were so many races this weekend. All right, I think we had Toronto, Detroit, Baltimore. I think there was a race in Ohio as well. Is that right? As far as marathons go, I know there was other races around the country as well. But I think those were the 4 big marathons that I'm aware of. Let me know if anyone raced anything else. Gino DG says, hey, Copozy Run Club, raced my first half yesterday. Automatic PR with a 1:46. Ooh, that's really good starting time. And rep the co-fam with the Path Projects Kofuzi hat. Awesome. Great job, Gino. Nice. He had great weather for it at the TCS Toronto waterfront. Nice. Nice work, Gino. Let's see. Who else got in there and did some running? Brian says, good, awesome work, Gino. Toronto waterfront on my bucket list. I felt like I really wanted to go. Did you guys see any of Herm's reels that he made from the weekend? I feel like I wanted to be there. He was giving out Tim Hortons little munchkin donuts, donut holes. I forget what they were called. Tim's Bits or something weird like that. He bought 100 box and he ran out of them real fast. I just felt like that was really nice. Thomas Wen said, I just did a 5K honoring Jesse Owens on a Saturday in Columbus, saving my legs for a 50K in 2 weeks. Nice. Let's see. Sega Dreamcast wants to know if I can get that sweet PR bell. 2 weeks and 2 PRs, 320 at Wineglass and 134 at the Baltimore Running Festival half this weekend. 2024 was a ride. Congratulations. 2 weeks and 2 PRs. I mean, if you had a half marathon PR the week after a Wineglass marathon PR, I feel like maybe you could have run Wineglass a little harder. I feel like there's still some meat on that bone. So 2025, better watch out. Adam raced a 10K in the trails on Saturday and put on a youth cross-country race yesterday and putting on a trail race this Saturday, racing cross-country in 2 weeks. Oh, you're busy, Adam. How did the 10K trail race go? And Vanessa says, there are so many races this time of year. I almost wandered into a race during my long run. And it was the Livestrong 5K, 10K. Well, there you go. Steve says, can I get a PR bell ring for the Hartford half? I ran and Saturday in 2:08. Oh, boy. Good job, Steve. And Calvin wants to know, how did the little do at the state cross-country meet? She did really well. Thank you for asking. I feel like she had a good weekend. I feel like she's definitely got the bug to race harder. She's had a couple of different like invitational meets that the coach got the team invited to over the course of the season. Coach has done a really good job of getting us like kind of out of conference to race against some bigger schools. We're a pretty small school, so against some bigger schools and some bigger and tougher competition. But like it's the state meet. You're never going to run against so many fast girls at the same time. And so, you know, the interesting thing about this team, well, my daughter did well. She got a PR for the day. She smashed her PR by quite a bit. And they run 2 miles at this grade until eighth grade. She's in 7th grade now, and she'll run in another year next year in middle school. So they run 2 miles, and some of these kids are fast, real fast. I mean, some of them are faster than I am. Most of the boys were, at least the boys like the winners and stuff. A lot of the girls winners too. I don't think I could keep up, and they're in 7th and 8th grade. It's amazing. But yeah, it was really cool to see. Just super wholesome atmosphere. There was like snow cone food trucks after the race, parking in the parking lot. And so kids would be running their race, and like some kids would be coming back like elated. Lots of kids were crying afterwards. I just think that no matter who you are, you're not used to running against 250 other kids who are almost exactly as fast as you. And so it's just a different kind of racing that I think a lot of these kids are not used to. But it was great to see all. I mean, not that I relish their tears, but I'm like, that's the sign that they really care, and they're passionate about it at a young age, and they're just super into it, and really just wanted to do the best that they could, and something didn't go right, And so those are the ups and downs, and it was really cool to be able to watch that. My daughter, her goal was to come in the top 100, and she beat that, so she was really happy with that. And the good thing for her coach, this is the first time I think the school has sent both the boys and girls team to state cross country meet. And there were no 8th graders on the team this year for whatever fluke of a reason. And so assuming everyone comes back, we could have the exact same runners come back next year. I think our team finished 14th. And the girls finished 14th. The boys finished like 21st in our class at state. And so, they're definitely looking to improve that. So that's your wrap up from Illinois Middle School cross country state results. Thank you for humoring me. And Luke says, oh my gosh, the food trucks, what a throwback. I love the finish straight of that course. It was so cool to experience. Yeah, Luke, that course was awesome. It was fast. Luke was telling me about it. That it was a uphill start and then fast rolling. I got a chance to walk the course the day before. Yeah, it's a fast course. For all you Brits that are out there, you would have hated it. There was no mud. There was no hay bales. There was no barriers, very few opportunities to get kind of pinched into a corner. So I think the Brits would have hated it. But all the coaches that were there, it's been like 4 or 5 years in a row of really miserable weather and conditions at that course. So all the coaches this year were like, it's going to be a fast one this year. So it was fun. Yeah. And Calvin says, if she keeps this up, Cole will have to face his nemesis again, Nike Nationals. Nike Nationals are not mine. I never ran in any events like this. I never even made it to the sectional meet in high school. So yeah, I don't know. Is that my nemesis? Did I forget that I have a nemesis? I'm not sure. Lee Fletcher says, what are your opinions and thoughts on Sydney Marathon potentially becoming the 7th Abbott World Marathon major race? Any thoughts on Abbott World Marathon majors also expanding to Cape Town and Shanghai? I have many thoughts on it. I feel like they're on the path. They're en route. I've penciled in Sydney 2025. They haven't announced when the race is yet, and registrations aren't open yet. So I've penciled it in. For 2025, I'm anticipating going there as a major. I didn't want to go when it's not a major. It's really far. I don't anticipate going there many times just because it's so far. Although you never know. And so I'd like to go when it's a major and get that 7th star. And I think it'd be really cool. I think it's awesome that it's there because it's on the other side of the world from here. Because there's 3 within 2 time zones of each other in the United States. And then Tokyo's on the other side of the world. It's like 13, 12 hours different, so on the opposite side of the planet. It's good to have another one that's in the same time zone as Tokyo. And on the other side of the world, the only thing that's disappointing to me about Sydney is that like they couldn't, and I understand, it's very paternalistic to come and be like, you have to change who you are if you want to be with us. It's kind of toxic to say that, but like I wish they could have changed the date of it, because it's going to be like the week before Berlin, then 2 weeks, and then Chicago, and then like 3 or 4 weeks, and then New York. That's a lot of marathons in a like basically a 1 month period. I would think that the main benefit of having a southern hemisphere race is that then you can have one like you no longer would be limited to just spring and fall marathons. You can have one, say, in the summer and have it be cool temps. So imagine if you started your marathon training in April, and then in June or July, you went to the southern hemisphere where it was winter, technically, and then ran then. I think that'd be awesome. And then it would spread out the calendar so people could run marathon majors a little bit more easily all year round. But then again, does Sydney even get that cool even in the coldest months of its year? I don't think so. So I don't think it matters a huge deal. That's the only one thing that I wish they could have done, is spread it out a little bit. Yeah. And then with Cape Town, again, Cape Town has a lot of the same things going for it. It's in a different time zone that is more favorable to not the U.S., you know? Sorry about that, guys. And then I don't know what time of year Cape Town is. It was just last week. It was this weekend. Yeah, that was another one this weekend. So I feel like it's another one where it'll be like Chicago 1 week and then Cape Town the next. It's making it hard. Making it real hard because they're all bunched up so close. And then Shanghai, China makes the most absolute sense because of the population center there. But I have concerns about traveling over there. So, I think it's going to be a long time before we see a 9th star, because Shanghai would be 9, if they can get themselves there. And so hopefully conditions will improve. So those are my thoughts. There's a lot of thoughts on that. Yeah. And Luke says, marathon training in spring and racing in Australia in the winter sounds great. I wish they did that. Yeah, I still think it's pretty hot there in Sydney, no matter what time of year you're there. So I think that doesn't really matter all that much. I've never been, so I don't really know, but yeah. And Sega Dreamcast reminds us, speaking of registrations, Chicago 2025 applications open up tomorrow. So sign up. I'm still working on the Runners Weekend video. I'm now editing the race. I've been editing all the other stuff Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and now on Sunday. So hopefully by tomorrow I'll have that. But I also did want to put out other shoe review videos. So what delayed it a little bit was I put the Glycerin Max video out, put the Adios Pro 4 video out. So there's going to be a delay. But hopefully this will just get people excited for the events that I'm doing in New York, and for other, not just my events, but events other people are doing in New York, and should be a good week. I'm not going to be there very long in New York, and that's because of Halloween. Halloween is the Thursday. Normally I get in Thursday before the race into New York. I did turn down an event I really wanted to go to on Wednesday, but I'm like, I can't. I missed the school trunk or treat for Berlin, I think. No. Was it when I was in Chicago? I think when I was in Chicago, I think I missed it. I don't know. I missed the school trunk or treat, and now I'm for some work event, and now I can't miss Halloween too. It's one of our favorite holidays at our house, so I can't miss it. Next year, I might not even go to New York because I feel like Halloween's like Friday night, so I don't know. But anyway, hopefully people can run Chicago. I'm hoping to have another big year in Chicago. Not running it. I enjoyed not running it, but yeah. Putting on lots of events and stuff. Moonwalker says, I'm rooting for Sydney for the next major, but I saw the course as it is right now, and it looks like a mess. so many switchbacks and turns where you turn around and end cone and backtrack in the opposite way. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd have to see it. I haven't watched too many videos of people races because I know they've been tweaking the course to make it less difficult to host a much larger field. But I feel like Tokyo has lots of switchbacks like that, and I didn't mind. I actually like when you could see the other side, like another river of runners against you. I liked that for some reason. So yeah. So I enjoyed it. But it is hilly. That's the thing that I'm worried about. I'm like, well, if we're adjusting the course, can we take some of the hills out? Because I think right now, New York is the hilliest course. Sydney is not just a little hillier, I think, as far as I know. I know there's some people that have run it, but I haven't. Yeah. Mark Peterson says, speaking of Halloween, I'm excited for Halloween. My daughter is walking now. Amazing. So we can take her trick-or-treating. My wife got her a costume, but didn't understand sizing, so it's way too big. Need a new plan. You could just carry a baby around. That's pretty awesome. You trick-or-treat, look at my baby. That's all you need to do. Is your baby wearing a costume? No, the baby's just being a baby. That's good enough. All right. Let's get to some of this UCAN. And I guess we can... I'll just eat them like throughout the episode, and we'll keep just chatting about races and stuff. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with the orange mango because I think that's the flavor that I've had before, and then I'll do strawberry banana third, pineapple I'll do second, and then unflavored I'm gonna do last. I have a feeling, for better or worse, that's going to be the good one to end it with. So orange mango, I think this is the flavor that I've tried before. Orange mango. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like when pineapple came out, a lot of the UCAN athletes said that this was their favorite flavor. I don't remember any sort of announcement for strawberry banana. I don't like bananas. So we'll see about that. And then let's get to the unflavored. First, let's start with the energy gel. So by the way, all these have about 20 grams of carbs and about 50 milligrams of sodium in them. And they use a non-GMO cornstarch as the sugar source. So if that kind of thing is important information to you, then for a lot of people, this is the only gel that they can take for certain dietary and health reasons. But let's try orange flavored. Oh, this, I don't know what I normally had before, but this is way better. This is good. I remember UCAN having a slightly cornstarchy taste. This tastes different. It's almost like a creamsicle. I want to eat the whole thing, but I got 3 more to do. So that one was good. I like that one. Mark said you did not care for the UCAN orange. There's orange mango though. I mean, I'm a mango fan. I like the mango flavored things. This one's good. There is a bit of an aftertaste to it though. Almost chalky, a little bit. But yeah. But otherwise, that one's good. I feel like I could eat the whole thing. Yeah. Lars M said I had 6 of the orange mango during Berlin this year. There we go. Luke says, I've been practicing with Gerber food, 90-gram pouches. Gotta say, it's been working great for me. You can feel the sugar rush and no issues at all. Is that cheaper or more expensive than the gel, though? The Gerber food. What flavor do you get? Fruit? Do you get fruit flavors? Or with the Gerber, do you get like sweet potato and peas? I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be funny. Louis, not that I want you to throw up, but imagine if Luis is like, I need some variety. I'm going to bring Salisbury steak. I'm going to bring sweet potato and green beans. And then another one of carrots and then pears. And then at the end of the race, just throws it all up. That'd be weird. That'd be really weird. But that'd also be really funny. I mean, if the Gerber foods come in like like actual baby food flavors. You know how sometimes it's like chicken dinner, you know? Do ultra athletes, the trail runners get that, or do they just do fruity ones? Like apple banana, you know? Leona says, yeah, that's it. That chalky aftertaste, that doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, I definitely, as I'm eating it, it was fine, but then afterwards, which, aftertaste, it definitely, I noticed it. Steven C 1984 says, do you run after the stream testing gels, or is it just a big sugar high off afternoon? I normally run in the mornings. And this morning I did not, because I'm trying to get that Chicago Runners Weekend video done. So I've been editing all morning. And I do have a workout that I'd like to do this afternoon. So I figured, this will work out for the workout, I guess. It says 75 plus minutes of energy. See that? 75 plus minutes of energy. So how many of these are you supposed to take? Yeah, it says consume 1 pouch of Edge before exercise and repeat every hour as needed. Each pouch provides approximately 75 minutes of steady energy. You don't need to chase Edge with water. I normally bring a gel for every like 30 or so minutes. So this, I only need, but it's only still I only got 20 grams of carbs. I think maybe if you're running a marathon, it's a little different. Derek Silva says, random question, but did you give up alcohol? I've noticed the NA beers are the choice most of the time. Kudos if you did. I have not given up alcohol, but I am trying to drink less of them. I also have been enjoying NA beers. I just think they've gotten better, so that's one part of it. But the reason for in Chicago, I guess you guys haven't seen the Chicago Runners Weekend video. In Chicago's Runners Weekend video, I pick NA beers a lot of the time because I drove. I did Chicago Marathon from home here in Crystal Lake. So I was commuting 90 minutes each way every day by car, which was not great. Waking up in my own bed was great. Commuting 90 minutes each way, not so great. But a lot of times it's just like, I get as much these days, I'm in my mid 40s. These days I get as much enjoyment from one beer and then one NA beer as I would from 2 beers. And I feel a little bit less groggy in the morning, So it's just, I want to have my cake and eat it too. So I kind of, sometimes I do all NAs, sometimes I split it up, just mix and match a little bit. All right, let's get to the pineapple. I feel like this is the favorite amongst a lot of the UCAN athletes. A very strong pineapple flavor. Like you could smell it. Like a lot of times you eat pineapple things and you're like, I taste it. But like this has like the sour tartness of pineapple, which a lot of times you don't get with pineapple flavored things. Trying to see if still has that kind of like chalkiness to the end of it. But I like this. It's good. This one only has 19 grams of carbs and 45 milligrams of sodium. They all have a decent amount of vitamin C though. Well, I don't know if it looks like a decent amount. 90 milligrams. It says 100% in my daily value. So this one's pretty good. Go Running with Oliver says, text D'Amato and ask her what her favorite flavor is. I'm not on a text basis. I think with any professional athlete, I think I've messaged her once before, but I don't know. Tommy Runs could probably get that info. I don't know if he could get that right away, like while we're still here at the live stream, but he probably could. Kevin says, it's interesting marking gels with elites when most just do bottles. Well, I think that a lot of them these days are doing both. And so I think Elliot only did bottles, right? Did he ever tape gels to his bottles? I think a lot of the athletes are taping gels to their bottles too. Which I guess I understand it. I prefer liquid. I'm always jealous of cyclists especially the triathletes that have that little like it's like a looks like a giant envelope almost, and it sits in between their arms, and there's a straw, and you could just sip while you're hunched over your bike. I feel like that's pretty nice. You can't do anything like that. I mean, I guess you can. You could have if you have a hydration pack on, you could sip from the tube. But I don't like to run with a hydration pack if I'm trying to run fast. And so that's more for long days on the trails, you know. But yeah, there's just nothing like that. I would prefer to take mine in by liquid because then you can also add in salt. It solves the salt problem. I don't know why they don't just make a salty gel. Like even the ones that are salty, like they made goos that was like salted caramel and stuff like that. Why won't those actually salty? You know, I mean, Huma Chia Pluses are salty, but you don't get like a sugar rush from when you eat those, I feel like. You know, Siemens thinks that they just stick a gel to the bottle for marketing purposes. No, I mean, we just talked to Lindsay Flanagan, and she says she just has a water bottle with water and then takes a gel like every other aid station. So that's how she does it. I don't know, that doesn't mean everyone does it, but Matt says, triathletes love a good rolling buffet line. I feel like that's, I feel like there's more eating involved in cycling and triathlon than is in running. You know, I'm envious of those sports. I wish I enjoyed them more. I do think that I'd like to get on my bike more, but like I'm probably not going to do it outside. I'm just going to do it on the trainer, you know. Calvin says, what's a high enough sodium level for you for a gel? I'd love to see like 100 milligrams. Because then if you're taking 6 during a marathon, that's 600 milligrams of salt. I feel like that's good. I think 200 milligrams isn't crazy either. You know. Lena says the Powerball gels have a great amount of sodium, 200 milligrams, my go-to gel. Those are pretty big though, aren't they? They're even bigger than these UCAN ones, I feel like. Or am I remembering that wrong? I don't know. Matt says eating on the bike is so much easier than running. It's kind of the same as not wanting to eat while jumping on a trampoline. And Lena says no, it's smaller. The Gator, the Power, was it Power Bar? Power Bar. Oh, maybe I'm thinking the Gator Power Bar. Power Bar ones are smaller than this. Okay, maybe I'll have to try that. And Calvin says, doesn't the Huma Chia ones have 100 milligrams of sodium and the Carbs Fuel gels have 110? But they're large like the UCAN. But 50 grams of carbs per gel? I don't know. I feel like, what was it? Spring Energy? I feel like Spring Energy soured me on a lot of these high carb gels. I'm just like, is it really 50 milligrams? You know what I mean? I have no reason to doubt it. But now I'm just like, anything that's more than 20, I'm like, sure, you got more than 20 in there. But yeah, I think maybe I need to start doing that. I used to sprinkle in a Huma Chia, the strawberry banana one, strawberry lemonade one. That one was really good, and it had a good amount of salt in it. Maybe that's because I don't really want to do the salt chews during a run. I'll do them like right after or before or whatever, but I don't know. Andrew Lyons. Not a PR day, but he hit his goal of sub 340. Let's do this one. Applause. Yeah. Sub 340 at the Des Moines Marathon. Survived a hot day. It was hot in the Midwest this weekend, wasn't it, Andrew? Great job. I didn't know that Des Moines Marathon was this last weekend. One of the things my daughter wanted to do, we were talking about it. I was taking her to her rock climbing class last night. And she was talking about how she wants to do more racing in the off season. And I try to instill in her the idea that like training, especially in the off season, builds fitness. Racing uses it. So if you want to get faster and beat some of these girls next year, you're not going to get there by racing a lot. And I think I'm going to lose that battle But I want her to stay interested. But we were thinking about, she's like, are there any turkey trots near grandma's house that we could do? And so we might be doing a turkey trot in Iowa. We're not sure exactly what we're doing for Thanksgiving this year. Plans might have to change a little bit from the usual setup, but if we don't do one there, we'll probably do one here in Crystal Lake, because I think there's one in Crystal Lake. But she wants to race. The one that we're thinking about doing in Iowa, the winner of each age group gets a certificate for a frozen turkey. And I think we could come home with 2 frozen turkeys, my daughter and I. You know, that'd be pretty amazing. I don't eat turkey or meat, but it'd be funny to get one. I'd give it to my mother-in-law, you know. But yeah. Rohan Crane says, yo, what's going on? First time catching live stream in a while. Headed to Vegas for a conference. Can't wait for their early morning runs along the strip. Should be quiet-ish. It's always sad right around sunrise on the Las Vegas Strip. There's a melancholy there to the sunrise that just doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, I think. It is nice for running, though. Calvin says, will my daughter be doing track in the spring, and what events? She will. Last year she did the 800 and the mile. She did the 4x4 a couple of times too. I think that's probably what she'll stick to. In junior high, they don't have a 3,000 or a 3,200, thankfully. But yeah, so I think she'll probably stick to those events. I'm debating whether or not to let her get spikes. It's harsh on the body. I know she wants them. Some of her contemporaries have them. So I think I'm going to lose that battle too. I'm also thinking I'm just going to get her some Takumi Sens. I don't know if anyone, maybe Luke Talbot might actually know, but are there stack height rules at the junior high level in track and field? Can I let her run in DV8 Nitro 3s? I feel like she would really like those. Really light. Maybe some Metaspeed Edge Paris, But can I send my daughter with a 40 millimeter stack height shoe for a 1,600 meter at 7th grade? I don't know. Andrew Lynn says Des Moines has a fantastic Thanksgiving Day turkey trot. Would recommend. Des Moines is a little far from where my in-laws are, but it's something that I've considered making it over there. AJ said fourth 328 at Red Rocks of Sedona 20 miler. Congratulations, great job. AJ says that Jeff Browning jumped in and got first, a 2:49 course record. Jeez, doesn't that suck? Because you could have had 3rd place. That guy just kept his pro nose out of it. Congratulations, AJ. Calvin says, if we both enter the turkey trot in the hopes of getting 2 turkey dinners, imagine Co doesn't win, and now his daughter is carrying the load of feeding the family for Thanksgiving. Well, here's the thing. It's a frozen turkey. They specify in the race details that it's a certificate for a frozen turkey. I think that they want to make sure that people don't think that they can go run, win, and then take the turkey home and cook it that day. So you get a certificate for a frozen turkey. So if you want to eat turkey on Thanksgiving, you got to have made other arrangements for turkey on Thanksgiving. So that's not going to come down to that. But that would be kind of funny. Mark Peterson says, the old Turkey Day 5K downtown Minneapolis used to give out pumpkin cheesecakes for the top 25 finishers. I brought home a couple back in the day. Also got frostbite on my feet one time. Whoops. That's not good. Oh, geez, Mark. Pumpkin cheesecake sounds delicious, though. I can go for that. If you run I think they call it the Freedom Mile in Mammoth Lakes on the 4th of July, that Mammoth Track Club puts out. The year that I was there, they didn't do it, or Dina Castor didn't do it. But normally, Dina Castor bakes a pie for the top 3 finishers. You get a pie baked by Dina Castor. that's a pretty fun price, I feel like. And you only got to run a mile. Matt thinks that there's no stack height rules for junior high school track, just spike length. Okay, interesting. All right, guys. We're going to try the strawberry banana. I feel like I'm going to like this one the best, even though I don't like banana. Because I feel like this is like strawberry banana is like a smoothie flavor, you know? Smells like strawberry banana. It tastes like real food. There's almost like a floralness to it, though. Like there's something else in here. Or maybe this is what strawberries taste like. And I just don't know anymore. Also really good. I like these. The packets are really big, but I feel like these are really good. I do feel like, I know it's not supposed to sugar spike you, but we've been eating them throughout this episode today, and this is my third one. Not that I've been eating the whole thing, but I've been eating about half of each one. I'm starting to feel it. I'm getting a little bit, not jittery, but I'm feeling there's sugar in my veins. Or carbohydrates, not sugar. Sugar, carbohydrates, yeah. Cornstarch is in my veins. Allulose, glycerin, and natural flavors. This one has 19 grams of carbs, but 50 milligrams of sodium. I suppose 50 is a pretty good number too. Still wish I could just drink my calories and sodium and sugars. Matt Moore says, I set a trail marathon and 30-kilometer PR in the middle of my 100-kilometer DNF on Saturday. Fun weekend. I guess that's a bell. Sorry about the DNF. But at least you got trail marathon and 30K PRs. Came away with something. AJ said he talked to Jeff Browning after the race and said, yeah, thanks, you bumped me off the podium. That's so funny. Adam says, there are about 30 turkey trots in the Denver Boulder area. I believe it, and I guarantee you there's Olympians at every single one. That would be so annoying. I'm like, I mean, I guess I go and try to run in their races. It's only fair that they try to come in and run in mine. Like Turkey Trot's my space. That's non-elite space. You know, but I guess I've been trying to run all the majors and all that stuff. And so I'm running in their races. They're running mine. Okay. Johnny Dodgen said, committed to my first sub-3 attempt at Yorkshire Marathon yesterday. Went through the half at 1 hour 28. On schedule for 2:58 and blew up at mile 18 and crawled home for 3:16. 3:16 is not bad though, Johnny. You got some fitness to working to build to go. That was a weird sentence. I feel like if you blew up at 18, you have fitness there. You just got a little bit more to do. Calvin says for my daughter, maybe split the difference of spikes and get the Metaspeed LD. Has those micro spikes, but still plated and super foam. Maybe. Like, you know, like on Saturday, I saw a lot of the kids had like their cross country spikes in. And I was just thinking, I'm like, the course was really dry and the ground was very hard. I'm like, I'm not sure the spikes are doing much for the kids. Not when it's taken them 12 to 13 minutes to run. So I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure they need spikes at that age. But if it makes them feel better, if it makes them feel faster, more confident, I think that also goes a long way. So I don't know. All right. We got one more. Luke says, if you let your daughter get spikes, maybe don't let her wear them for workouts, races only. That's what we did even through high school. I never had much of a problem with recovery or injury. I think that's a very good plan. Like they're not really doing anything where like you need to spike up for the workout anyway. I mean, that's the conversation I had with New Balance Paul about spikes when he was like, "You wear spikes?" I was like, "I have," because I to test them, to see if I like them. And I also raced that one time in spikes when I did the steeplechase. But it's like, if I had a workout with some 200s in it, do I need to spike up? No. Did I want to just acclimate if I was going to use them during the race and also see if I like them? Yeah. But I didn't really train in them very much, which maybe I should have. But I don't know. They kind of wrecked me pretty bad. Adam says, I doubt there'd be Olympians at most of the Denver and Boulder turkey trots. With so many of them, most aren't that big and no one is fast. If I cherry picked right and got lucky, I might be able to win. Well, you are pretty fast, Adam. So that's one thing. But I see your point. Steven C says he has the Metaspeed long distance spike or not spike, and they feel fast, to be honest. Okay. And Jack D said, didn't Parker Valby run in spiked super shoes in the NCAA champs? I think it was that. It was like a pair. I mean, they'd done the same thing for Gwen Jorgensen one time in a 10,000. She had a pair of Vaporfly 4% version 1s with spikes on the bottom. So they've done it before. I think they gave her Vaporfly 3s. Because I don't think that there were rules on that, were there? For 10,000. And for 10,000, that totally makes sense. I do not think that I would not spike up for 10. I don't know that I would. If it was on the track, I probably would spike up for a 5,000, but just from peer pressure, I guess. I don't know. All right. Last one, guys. Unflavored. What is this going to taste like unflavored? Is this going to taste just like cornstarch? Like a cornstarch slurry? Like when I'm cooking? Put some cornstarch in the water. Give a little stir before you use it to thicken something. Is that what do you think this has thickening properties? I mean, it's going to have natural sweetness to it because it's cornstarch, right? Or is it going to be corny? Oh, yeah. That part that people say they don't like, that's all I'm tasting. There is a sweetness to it, though. And I don't know, maybe I need to cleanse my palate a little better first. It felt like there was sweetness to it, but yeah, some of that kind of chalkiness, the cornstarchiness, I'm tasting it in this. Let's rank them. All right. I can't tell if unflavored is the worst or one of the best. I'm not sure. Let's see. We had pineapple, strawberry. These are all pretty good. An improvement from the last time I had UCAN, I think. I'm gonna go strawberry, banana, orange, mango, unflavored, pineapple. The pineapple is pretty good, so I just think that it'd be easier to take the unflavored when I'm very tired and multiple times. I think the pineapple is a really strong flavor because it has such tartness to it. I don't know that I actually want it in a gel. So, yeah. Lena says, spreadsheet for the gels? No, we don't have to do that. Too many spreadsheets already. All right. And Calvin says that you could wear a modified road shoe spike for NCAAs, but not for international and world athletics competitions. She also wore them for the recovery as she had the 5K, I think, later that week. Okay. That makes sense. Because I don't really know NCAA rules as well, but I know for like, if you wanted to hit the time standard for the U.S. marathon trials, I don't think you had to follow the World Athletics rules for shoes. to get to the U.S. marathon trials. I don't think anyone tested that on the men's or women's side, but I think if I'm reading the rules correctly, that's how it goes. I think most people end up just running in regulation racing shoes anyway, but yeah. All right. Let's get to here we go. Let's get to the shoes that I want to add on to the shoe weights sheet for today. We have 3. I don't know where they are, but I took photos of them I took pictures of the weighing on my phone. So specifically, we could do this. We got 3 shoes. I ran in the Adidas Dreamstrike Prima. I knew that I wanted to run in it on a day before we were going to be able to unbox them. So I unboxed them without you guys. Sorry about that. But I did weigh them. And then we unboxed together the Innovate Roadfly and Trailfly last week. So I want to make sure we get those on there too. All right. Oh, it looks like Tony's in the chat. What's going on, Tony? Tony, why didn't you come to Chicago? Nadia was here. I was like, where's Tony? We missed you. All right. Dreamstrike Prima. Let's go. 9.9 ounces for the Dreamstrike Prima for me. I really like that shoe. I like it more than the regular not Dreamstrike Prima. What? Supernova Prima. I looked at the photo. It says Dreamstrike on the side of the shoe. So the Supernova Prima, I like it more than the Supernova Rise. Very similar shoe, just a little bit more under the forefoot where I want it. So that was good. And I kept going between 9.9 and 10 ounces, but I left it at 9.9. And it was 282 grams. So very respectable for that shoe. A little on the heavy side, but Adidas sometimes makes heavy shoes for their daily trainers. All right, let's get to the Roadfly. Oh boy, I can't see this. We'll do grams first since this is a British company. British, right? 248 grams and 8.7 ounces. It's a very light shoe. And then we had the Trailfly. Also at 282 grams, just like the Supernova Prima. So yeah, that came in at 9.9 ounces as well. So there we go. 2 shoes at the exact same weight this time. Yeah, Calvin's like, I was going to say, is that Dreamstrike a new shoe? No, that was an error. John Dalton, Supernova Prima. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so there we go. And Scott says, I catalog all my running shoes, weight, stack, drop, price, and place purchased. That's too many columns, Scott. Well, I guess that makes sense. But I could see why you would add all those columns, but I don't need all those columns. Those are a lot of columns. But I guess you probably don't have a right shoe for the weight versus left and like miles at weight. All right. Let's do my most terrifying thing where I try and sort it by ounces. Data sort by column. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we did it. We got the 2 over here, the Supernova Prima and the Trailfly coming at the same weight as the SC Trainer V3. Okay, interesting. And lighter than the normal Tomir 2.0. And then that Trailfly, same weight. Isn't that right? The Under Armour Elite U Velocity Elite 2? Really? Is it that heavy? Where did that shoe go? I don't know where I put it. And just lighter than the Mountain to Coast R1 and the Mach X2. Okay. Same weight as the Super Blast 2. Interesting. There we go. So we got some more shoe weights in there. Scott says, why does one shoe weigh differently than the other? I don't know, but I think it's not so much that as just to verify for me which shoe did I weigh. They shouldn't weigh different, but I suspect that if I weighed 100 100 pairs of shoes, lefts and rights, I would get a range, you know. Yeah. All right, Fiona says, oh man, you guys are telling me about your spreadsheets. In my run spreadsheet, in color code cells of each day I run by the shoe colorway, makes it easy to see at a glance what my rotation looks like. That's one way to do it. I don't track my mileage in an Excel sheet anymore. I used to because I didn't trust Strava. Now I'm just leaving it up to Strava to do it, you know. Terry says, Super Blast, never for sale in the UK in my size. What size are you? I don't know that it goes up to 14 if that's your size. But I don't know. I feel like I don't remember shoes. Is it because there's just more shoes now? But I don't remember there being such a problem with inventory and shoes before. You know? Yeah. Because I feel like, well, Puma's kind of always had problems. Well, at least since they've returned to performance running, they've had problems with it. I think part of it is, I don't know. I'm sure there's many, many reasons of it. But like the Super Blast, as many as they're making, I talked to them and they're like, we're making as many as we can, as fast as we can. I'm like, it doesn't seem to be fast enough. And I'm like, and it also undercuts my argument that it's not the right price. If they're constantly sold out, the price isn't wrong, you know? But, yeah, but there's that. Like people have been telling me about the Mag Max, even Adios, any of the racing shoes right now, because it's marathon season. It's hard to find any in a normal, like a, not normal, not that people that are different sizes are abnormal, but in the more common sizes, it's hard to find a lot of them. So I don't know. Rich Dyson said, my local Fleet Feet in Seattle closed for good over the weekend, so it's time to start rolling the dice with running warehouse again. Whoa, really? Was this a sudden thing? That's a surprise. I mean, not that I know about any of those, but it just seems like Fleet Feet Seattle should be able to be doing pretty good. And Terry says that his size is 11.5 UK, 12.5 US, so not a huge shoe. No, that's pretty common size, I would think. And Shannon has a shoe question for today. Cody, do you feel the grip is compromised in the outsole of the Pro 4 now that there's less Continental, or no? I didn't feel, I didn't feel like it was less grip at all. But, the aid stations in Berlin were pretty hectic. And there was lots of cups and liquid all over the floor. But I felt in the over-under, it was less wet and slippery as it was wet and sticky. So I feel like I haven't really given it like a super wet test. But, winter is coming, so we'll be able to see it soon. But I don't feel like it's, I know you have to take a grain of salt. Adidas is telling me like, oh yeah, our in-house developed rubber compounds. I almost said rubbers again. Our in-house developed rubber compounds, we're testing them and we're getting the same data points in terms of grippiness, durability, all those, whatever metrics they're testing. They're telling me that it's just as good. Well, at least the liquid rubber that was on the Evo 1. So they were working on developing non-continental rubber materials. I don't know if they're trying to like edit them out or see if they really need them, or if maybe the contract is coming up for renewal and they need some lever. I don't know what, never hurts to just innovate and test. But, so I don't know if I can believe that, wholeheartedly, since I don't even know what the data would look like and I haven't seen it. But, to me, I don't feel like it's inferior, but I've run in it in dry and race conditions, which I feel like isn't nothing. So that's so far how I feel about it. Rich says that the Fleet Feet in Seattle was a sudden closing. Staff was told less than a week before shuttering. We have 2 locations in Seattle proper, so there's still one in the opposite corner. At least there's still the REI flagship close by. I wonder if that had something to do with it, because REI's been selling a lot of running stuff lately, right? And then Adam says, my hopes for 2025 shoes. New Balance has a competitive weight race shoe. Is the SC Elite 4 heavy? I feel like it's in the middle range. Oh, it's in the middle range in terms of weight. Okay. He also wants Brooks to adopt PIBA. And he wants lower stack nimble plated trail shoes. Okay. Yeah. I think the Brooks one will be right from what from the scuttlebutt that I've heard about that shoe that everybody ran in Chicago. So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't heard from anyone yet. I did ask if it's TRE time coming up soon. And like as I was getting ready for Chicago, like every brand is like trying to get, not every brand, some brands never ask for me to come meet them, but the brands that wanted to meet me were all emailing me like the same time. And so I've been talking with Brooks about scheduling a time to meet them at TRE. And after the race, I was like, hey, are we going to talk about this shoe? Can we please talk about this shoe? If we weren't planning on talking about this shoe, because sometimes if you have like a specific question, you let them know ahead of time, and if they need a different product person there, they'll try to get them there. So they were like, oh yeah, I guess we could talk about the shoe. And I was like, I feel like you guys should be leading with that. I didn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking. So hopefully I'll have more information on that shoe that is shareable. Sometimes things are under embargo, but I do think that Johnny Pace at Pace Photo, who now works at FlowTrack as well, in addition to his photography, videography business. He interviewed CJ about the shoe. I had it on in the background. I know they talked about it a little bit. I'm going to need to go back and listen to it a little bit more carefully. See what he said about it. I feel like what's interesting, and maybe we'll kind of end on this one. So I had two different pieces of content go out. One was the reel that I made about John Career running in the ASICS Metaspeed Sky prototype. And the other one was the Adios Pro 4 review, where I said the Alpha Fly 3 is probably the fastest shoe in the world since it has both the men's and the women's record. And at the same time, like, people are yelling at me on both sides of this argument of like, in response to John Career running in the ASICS Metaspeed Sky prototype, people are like, the shoes have gotten too far. It's about which brand has a better shoe now. It's ruining the running sport. The shoes have too big of an impact on the result. And then at the same time, in response to like me saying something nice about Nike, people are like, no, it doesn't matter. The shoes don't matter that much. You can't say that a shoe is fast just because someone ran fast in it. That just means the person is fast. In other words, the shoes don't matter. So it's just this really weird space where I'm like, I wish the internet would pick a side to be angry about. But it's not. Calvin said it's a Schrodinger shoe. It's just you can't win with the internet. No matter what you post, some people are gonna be mad, you know. Calvin says, though, it seems a consensus agreement that the Continental and Puma grip are the best in terms of grip when wet and durability, too. I found the Vaporfly 3 outsole grippy, but not durable. Yeah, you know, I got also on the same thing on that Adios Pro 4 video. I got a lot of questions about people that were concerned about the durability of the rubber outsole. And like, I feel like, and someone was even like, I'd even take 10 grams heavier if they made the rubber outsole a bit more durable. And I was like, but what if the foam doesn't last that long? You know, what if you put more rubber on the outsole than the foam is supposed to be using its intended life? You know what I mean? I feel like people always think of adding more. I think it's sometimes people are just like, they want to add more rubber beyond it's as if there's no negative impact of that. I feel like the more rubber you put on the shoe, it adds weight, but I also feel like it changes the way your foot perceives the experience too. I mean, think about some of those older Brooks shoes that were, and like some of the Asics Nimbuses and like the GT 2000 that have so much rubber on the outsole. You know, I just feel like, I don't know. The Vaporflies have always the rubber has always kind of fallen off a little fast. But I feel like if we're going to err on one side, I think for a race product, I'd rather it err on the side of like some runners the rubber might not last long enough, The rubber outsoles might not last long enough. And maybe that's just me. Frank says that the outsole should always wear out before the midsole. I think so. But I think that there are some people who think of it as extra value. Like, let's say the midsole lasts 500 miles. I could tell that to a person and they would say like, and I would say like, let's say you could do a drop down box and select how many miles the rubber outsole would last. They would pick 750 as an option, even if I told them the midsole only lasts 500. You know what I mean? So there's some people that are just like more lifespan. They very heavily weight the value or the perceived benefit of more rubber outsole lifespan, even if it's beyond rational, But I mean, that's their preference. So I don't know. It's something that has confounded me from the moment I started reviewing running shoes. Yeah. SM says, and maybe we'll end on this one for today. Any recommendations for everyday walking shoes with a wider toe box? I would say something from Ultra or Topo because they have wider toe box if you want a foot-shaped shoe. So some of those could be really nice. I would say something that's a little bit taller, a little bit more on the big stack height from Topo would be the Atmos. And then from Ultra, I actually think it's been a long time since I've tested an Ultra. That's not the race shoe. I would say look at the Escalante. I've enjoyed that one. From the trail side, I like the Lone Peak and the Superior. But those have very generous sized toe box. And I think you could very much walk in those if you need a little bit more space. Also, a lot of shoes, especially ones that are good for running and walking, come in wides sizing. So like a lot of race shoes don't, but a lot of regular daily training, everyday shoes do. So that might be something to look at as well. If you just need a little bit more and a wide size would be enough for you. So something else to think about. All right. I think that's a good place to leave it for today. I will see you guys on Thursday then. That'll be the next live stream. I got some packages I got to pick up, so I don't know if we get some more shoes or what's coming in the mail, but we'll have some more stuff to talk about. Plus, I'll have a lot more details, at least by Thursday, about the events that I'm doing in New York. So I'll see you guys then. All right. Be safe out there, everybody.